They're
Is there a
faster.
trick to
Yeah,
it?
and at that time, we just played for the run back then, and they're so much. In my opinion, they're better football team. They got a faster quarterback, and at that time, the quarterback was a really good player. But the kid they got now is Heisman caliber, and their team speed is tremendous. I mean, they had the one kid we thought that was really fast back in 2010. And then they got the Mamba. They got receivers that can run. They got tight ends that can run. They've really done a really good job in recruiting a lot of big people. The right tackle is as good as anyone you're going to find in the country. And so he's done a good job, great job of bringing in a lot of players. And to me, the speed is probably one of the fastest teams in the country.
So how do you disrupt that? I mean, what ways can you try to disrupt?
They're going to make plays. It's like playing a Michael Jordan. He's going to make plays. We just got to make plays as well. They do so many things, and so many guys can score on simple plays. A swing pass. Anywhere else in the country, a swing pass would be anywhere from a 5 to 10 yard gain. A swing pass in their system can be an 80-yard touchdown. So they got players that can make big plays, and it doesn't even seem like in the situation that they shouldn't go to more than 5 or 10 yards, but they're turning to touchdowns.
The last team that kind of shut them down was Stanford. You guys gone back and
yeah, we've looked at everybody, and so many teams play them in so many different ways. It's got to be one of the best adjusting teams in college football, because what you do, you watch them on the field, they're making adjustments as the game goes. Well-coached team, they play with a lot of energy, a lot of passion, and to me, they're playing some of the best football in the country.
Even with different personnel, since you have seen them before in person, does that give you a little bit of an advantage, give you a little bit of help at least to prepare for them?
I think it's totally different now. I think, back then we were in the Gus Malzahn system, and that system I thought was pretty fast. And so when we played them, to me it wasn't that fast then. But now, as I look at it, it's super fast. And what makes it more explosive and faster is the fact that they're skill guys. They're skill guys. The running backs and the receivers and the quarterback. They're making it seem more fast than what's been in the past. The quarterback, again, is probably one of the best athletes in America, and the running back is probably the fastest player in the country. They got skill all over the field. So, you put that guys like that on the perimeter where you running from sideline to sideline, it gasses you out. And you see where teams are submitting to fatigue very fast.
With all that speed, how critical does the first step become in not wasting any?
They don't. Well, you're watching guys in position to make plays, and they can't make it. They give you no room for error. Again, like I said, simple plays are really turning into explosive plays. So at any given play, they can take it the distance. So yeah, you got to have your angles right, and your eyes got to be right, because they got misreads, and you can't fit plays in an incorrect way. You just got to be on your A game on every single play and be patient.
When you talk about it, playing in such an athletic quarterback, does that change how you guys play linebacker at all?
Well, it just changed how everybody plays in football. And the athletic quarterback, it gives you so many different dimensions. There is no gap for him, and so there's nobody assigned to the quarterback. So you turn your back on a quarterback like that runs a 4-4. You turn around, he's right up on you. So you try to keep your eyes on the quarterback, but then it makes you weak in the throwing game. So a guy like him, he can throw it and he can run it. So it gives you a lot of challenging problems. What do you do as far as matchups? Do you play a man-to-man? Do you play them in the zone? And they got an answer for everything you do.
Does that mean you try and put more pressure on him to try and maybe not have as much time to find his lanes, or is it just kind of you have to do what you do?
Well, what we learned with Cam Newton, even when we were in Auburn, he was, sometimes blitzing is not the right thing to do, because if you're blitzing, you're missing. Again, he could be in the end zone. So there's a lot of different strategies you have to come up with, and you got to be creative, and and not. The whole key is just that you can't panic. And you see so many guys that in halftime it's 45-0 before they can blink an eye. Because again, they got guys that are, to me, some of the most dynamic athletes in the country.
What kind of week did A.J. Johnson have?
A.J. comes to work every week, coming to learn it. Again, we're just gonna keep challenging to make plays in space, and then he knows what he needs to work on. He's a very prideful kid, and again, he comes to work every day, willing to learn, and he goes in the box.
I was gonna say, what's the challenge for him in a game like this where he isn't playing in space?
Yeah, you gotta make the plays. I'm not worried about him making the plays in space. It's just like when the balls roll out the perimeter. Those guys, like last week, a couple plays broke, and we ran it down. This week, the play break, you might not be as fortunate. And so you have to fit plays right, and you got to be right on point with your fits. You just can't have any misfits. And I said, if we're gonna miss a play, make sure we fit the plays right. If they get us on the play, they get us, but don't let it be because of we missed an assignment. Play assignment, technique football, sound football. You want to swarm the ball, tackle. Same thing we've been preaching since day one. But don't give them the cheap ones. Make them earn the distance.
Go ahead, Ryan.
How's Kurt looked so far this week? Has he looked closer to more like normal, I guess?
Yeah, he's getting there. He's getting there. Again, this is a game that's played a lot in space, and again, they're gonna run the ball from sideline to sideline, and coaches, it's a coach call. If coach is ready for him to get out there, he'll put him out there, and it's based on how Kurt feel. But every week, he wants to get out there. He wanted to get out there last week, and it'll come sooner or later.
Coach, how are you coaching up your players to really be disciplined when playing against Marcus Mariota?
That's what we were just talking about. You got a guy that can throw the ball as well as run the ball, and so there's so many different ways teams are trying to play him. You're watching like Virginia plays from man to man, and only to find they 45-0 at the first quarter. Again, you turn your back on him, he'll be in the end zone. If you sit there and you look at it, he'll throw it behind you. So he brings a different type of challenge for every defense in the country. He's fast, he's smart, he's athletic. He's in the perfect system with the perfect team. And so for us, it's going to be a challenge to just make sure that we keep him contained and keep him away from the explosive plays.
Coach, how different is what they do? Coach Tripp was just talking about how like the sweeps and the outside stuff is not that unique. It's like what they do, reading linebackers on inside
they
draws.
Do it all.
They
give you 5 different reads. One minute they might read a linebacker, they might read an end, they might read a 3 technique, they might read a shade. It's just so many different dimensions that they give you. And what they're looking to do is who's the weakness on your team? Where's the guy that's the most inconsistent? Who's the guy that's the most unreliable? And they're going to find him, they're going to expose him. And if you're not on it, if you misfit a play or you misfit a read or you squeeze in too far, again, they got guys that can be in the end zone. They're 0 to 20 in 3 steps. And so we have to be disciplined football, and got to be gap assignment. We've got to have the alignments correct, the eyes right. And then when you get in position to make the tackles, we got to make tackles in space. That's going to be our #1 challenge.
A.J. Johnson struggled in pass coverage a little bit last week. How much
One
can
more.
you improve on that in just 1 week, 4 practices?
As far as, it wasn't so much as him struggling in pass, what he was doing was technique. It's technique all driven. Had nothing to do with speed or anything like that. So when he played it correctly, you go back and you look at the tape. When he played the technique correctly, he had no problems. And so Ray Lewis, he's got the same speed. Again, it's what you do with your eyes, what you do with your feet, what you do with your hands. And he got out leveraged on like 2 or 3 plays because he lined up wrong. So we say it all the time. You line up right, you about 95% chance to grade out. Well, 3 times that he didn't line up right, there were 3 plays that we all saw. And so it had nothing to do with athleticism as it was the assignment and alignment.
Sorry about that. I've asked you this 15 times. How's Kurt legit look?
He's getting there. Yeah, Kurt's getting there. Again, it's day to day. I look for him, and it could be this week or it could be next week. But I wouldn't be surprised if he played a little bit this week.
Do you worry at all that inserting him, especially in a game like this on the road, could affect the chemistry that your 3 guys currently have, or do you say to